Hey, my name is Ray Flores. I'm a proud and loyal member of the First and 10 Tailgate. You're listening to First and 10 with my man, the main man, Foz.
What's up, Bears Nation? It's your boy Foz coming to you, episode 38, post 2024 NFL Draft. And man, what a draft it was, my friend. Maxwell, how you feeling tonight, sir?
Great. I haven't felt this good as a Bear, this jazzed as a Bears fan in a long time, man.
Dude, it was such an awesome experience, man. I mean, I'm so happy with all their picks. There was no typical Ted Phillips last 40 years. Pulling some bullshit last minute, upsetting the fans. It was cut. It was dry. We got in there. We got what we wanted, got what we needed, got out of there, dude. And we have a force right now, my friend. We have a force.
Quality over quantity is how I saw this draft. Sometimes that's all you need. If you got a team ready to win, you're going to plug in quality players. I don't need to worry about the 6th and 7th round picks or trying to accumulate. He did what he needed to do. He didn't try to outsmart himself. He had a plan, and he executed the plan to perfection as of now. And I can't complain about anything they did.
He did the little sneaky polls at the end there, which I didn't see coming, but
yeah,
which I was completely fine with, and we'll get into later on in the show. But dude, it was just such a great time. So as most of you know, me, my son, a bunch of the First and 10 crew were at Soldier Field, man, and that place was pumped, dude. Everyone was so excited when Caleb Williams got announced, when Rome Odunze got announced, dude. That place was just ecstatic, dude. The players were ecstatic. We'll get into that in a little bit, but it was just such a great environment. And then going into Detroit the rest of the weekend, me and Mrs. Foz, and dude, everyone was just like congratulating us on the draft. Like, great job. Like, I bet you're happy. I'm like, God, you goddamn right I'm happy.
A lot of places I know the Athletic did rated it the best draft. Of course, that's fool's gold, but still, yeah. I mean, they're the buzziest team in the NFL right now after that draft.
Dude, 100%, man. I think they're coming out with a weapon of offense. But just to give you guys a sneak preview, dude, it was such a great draft weekend. I got to see a lot of my superfan family from around the country. I think it was like 16 or 18 who were actually guests last year on the show. A lot of them I've never got to meet.
I saw a lot of drunk faces that I look familiar.
So it was really cool getting to see and getting to meet everyone. I got a little video here for you guys to check out. Give me one sec. But again, such a good time, such fun, and can't wait for the draft coming up next year in Green Bay, because if anything like it was in Detroit this year, it's going to be off the hook.
I'm sure.
Lindsay's terrified of that
Real creepy.
As you guys can see, I'm probably the best kicker. The Chicago Bears.
Just a little wide left.
I got so much shit for that this week, man. I'm like, out of all the pictures I posted, you guys want to bust the old Faz's balls about that. Whatever. But let's get into the draft, baby. Of course, we know who the number one person we're going to be talking about, and that's Mr. Caleb Williams, quarterback out of USC, dude. Goddamn, does that kid have a lot on his shoulders to prove this year, man? What's your thoughts, Maxwell?
First, it was almost like a relief. They finally just picked him, and it's over with. We don't have to hear about it anymore. Like that wasn't the exciting pick in the first round. That was just like, all right, fine, let's get down to business here. Yeah, it's over with. But I think he wants the pressure. He seems like he handles it really well. I read he did over 200 interviews this weekend, and like he wasn't a pain in the dick on any of them. Like he was super cool, super engaged. And this is the plus of having the NIL thing in the college. These guys are coming in already basically as professionals before they're playing professional. He's prepared for it. He's been prepared for it. He's wanted this his whole life. He said his number one goal to this point was to be drafted number one and be the best college player. That's what he was. I saw and heard and nothing about him or from him that I didn't dislike at all, period.
I have to fully agree with you. I think the number one thing that stood out to me the most is how excited that kid was, dude. There was no bullshit, dude. Nope. He was excited.
He's genuine.
As well as he should be. He's the number one overall pick, probably walking down to the best formulated team a number one pick has maybe ever had in the history of the draft.
You could definitely make the argument it's the best landing spot of a number one pick.
He's coming with a lot of eliteness, really good at unfortunately what Justin Fields was lacking. You know, those third down situations, the 2-minute drills, the fourth quarter games. I mean, that's what he brings to the table, man.
And he does the other stuff, feels it too. He's good at creating on the fly. Yeah. He enjoys creating on the fly.
Exactly.
I think if there was a knock about him, it was that. Sometimes he tries to do that too much, but he's got an absolute cannon for an arm. I'm excited as can be.
0 interceptions of 199 attempts on third down, dude. I mean,
I think he only had 5 last year, and 3 of them were in one bad game, which, I mean, it's one bad game. So
touchdown interception ratio is 46-1.
It's ridiculous.
We don't like talking stats on the show, but I mean, some of the stats behind this kid's career, dude. I mean,
I'll give you like a non-stat that I thought was interesting. Anyone that wanted to knock him coming in, like he didn't have a great season last year. He did not have another offensive teammate drafted in the draft. Wow. I mean, they had one of the worst defenses in college. He was basically, if it wasn't for him, they would have been 0-13. It's the easiest way to put it. He made them like, what were they, 6-5 or 7-6? I mean, he was the reason they were even any decent, let alone good. I don't know what else you need. If you were completely against his season, I mean, that's a pretty good argument the other direction.
Given what he's done in college, man, I mean, there's been this much hype about a greatness of a quarterback. I'd probably say since Andrew Luck for the Colts.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
And Andrew Luck didn't have the team that the Bears currently
He had a good team, but not as good as
I
don't think as good offensively as the Bears. He had a really good defense and a good offensive line. He's coming into a hell of a situation here. But again, I'm glad he's a confident kid. He wants this situation. He wants the pressure.
Yeah, so many people, it seems, were turned off by the confidence. I mean, I think egotistical and confidence are two different things.
Two very different things, and I haven't seen any of the former. I haven't seen any egotisticalness from him at all.
Yeah.
I've seen nothing but a kid that still wants to be competitive, that is fully embracing the Bear meatball on top of all of it. I don't have – I've I'm pretty cynical, no doubt about
Yeah.
it. And I've like looked for like things like maybe I really found nothing I haven't liked about him.
No.
Every one of the interviews I listened to, I love listening to him talk. I mean, he seems like a really down to earth, cool kid who's going to bust his ass.
This is not his fault whatsoever, but the whole claw thing, man, and that's the sports media. Don Wachter Bearman has been doing that for 30 something odd. Yeah.
Sure.
And when Caleb Williams got drafted, he got brought right over to the Bears inner circle, and he saw Don doing that, and then turned around and did the same thing that Don was doing.
Yeah.
Not to like play sides about who started what or whatnot, but dude, the whole sports media needs to chill on the whole growl thing.
Sure, it's just something to embrace. He's having fun with the fans. If anything, I saw it as, hey, this guy's cool and he's down for like hanging out with the fans. Like that was. I just
want to see 30,000 people next year in the stadium going.
You're going to see it. You're going to see it. I already saw.
Damn it!
Somebody already. I think it was Lawrence Holmes already promoting that they should definitely have a bear claw, a special pastry for Soldier Field on Sundays.
Bearman started that shit. I don't care what anyone says. We got
call it the Bearman Bear Claw. I don't
call the Bearman. All right, rolling into our number 2 pick at number 9. Thank you, Atlanta Falcons.
Oh my God,
so much for. I don't know what the fuck you were thinking, but thank you for drafting that Bonix kid. After you have Kirk Cousins, man, I
don't get it at all. It makes their reasoning was like if you looked at it sideways and squinted, like maybe, but like maybe if you fell to the second round, then you would take them. But
dude, I was at Soldier Field where everyone was looking around at each other. Jeff Jonak was like,
so
"What
weird.
the fuck is going on here?" Like
so weird.
Yeah.
I don't understand. That's one of the weirdest draft picks I've ever seen, and like he's not going to start. Like, okay, fine, look, but you just gave Kirk Cousins guaranteed $100 million for 4 years. Yeah, he's hurt all the time, but Penix looks like a serious project to me. Like he's got a lot of athletic talent, but that delivery is weird. Dude, I don't know what the fuck they were doing, but thank you for doing it.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Bringing on Cousins, you really don't have that big standout elite wide receiver. I mean, someone like Rome Odunze
or like defense, like they have no defense. What was that kid? I forget the kid that kept falling. I'm sorry, but it's like, man, that kid was perfect. Like the number one defensive guy just there for you. Like even if you could have easily traded back that pick, a couple of them and got Penix. Like probably to 11, you could have and still gotten Penix.
Dude, I'm glad they did what they did.
Oh, absolutely.
They gave us that big gaping hole to go in there and snatch him up, dude. And that kid's going to have probably the best locker room experience learning from DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, dude.
No doubt.
Last year, most contested catches. He had 24 contested catches last year.
He caught 21 of them.
21 receptions, over 20 yards.
Yeah.
He's just going to be another player in an arsenal, dude. And not only does he have the speed, he shows he has the catching ability too. So,
and again, really down to earth. Sounds like another guy from everything I've read just busts his ass. Looks like he's really got a pretty good rapport with Caleb, which is always good.
I mean, they were on the flight in together for the draft.
Really cool.
Seems like they kind of knew what was up a little bit before.
Yeah, so, I heard them ask Caleb about it somewhere, and he said like he didn't like push for them to do it, but he's like, I made mention of like the players I like from college, and like he said, like it was definitely the number one of them. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that had him as the best wide receiver in the draft, and not just it wasn't just like
over
one
Marvin
guy.
Harrison
yes,
Jr.?
Yes. I'm going to give the Bears a lot of kudos here that they didn't, or Ryan Poles, or I'm going to give a lot of kudos to that they didn't over Bears it. They didn't overthink it. They didn't say, okay, well, we can get him at 11. We'll trade out here to get more picks later. He didn't care. The guy he wanted was there. He picked the guy he wanted. End of story.
100%, dude. And I can't wait to see the weapons that the Bears are going to have on the field. And this is just another great example of a man. Let's get some comments going on here. Go Bears fans. Yeah, buddy. Let's go. Shane's excited too. What's up, buddy? How you doing, Shane? Excited, making a point, bond with his team and the fans.
Yep.
Hell yeah, dude. I love it. Like we said, I love everything we're seeing from that dude right now, man. Best QB we've ever seen. He very might well be the best QB we've ever seen.
It's a low bar, and same thing with. I heard Odunze. They were asking him about if he knew who the most yards for a Bears wide receiver ever was.
Yeah.
And he had no idea. He gave a good guess. He gave Brandon Marshall, but it's Johnny Morris.
Yeah.
And they told him it's only 5,000 yards. And he paused, like it was a long pause. He says, for his career? He said, okay, well then my goal is 5,000 yards to be the all-time best Bears wide receiver.
Well, dude, funny going back, talking about that type of stat. For a rookie Bears quarterback coming into a season with Caleb Williams, all he needs is 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, which is
Jordan Love almost did that last year.
Yeah,
or did it? Or he did that? Yeah, he did do that. Yeah.
Year.
It's 100% possible. he doesn't need to do that to be like have a great season, but why not? Fuck it. I mean, you're going to have all these weapons, but he throws 30-something touchdowns and goes high 3,000 yards. Yeah. Fine with me.
Yeah, dude, I'm super stoked. Weapons. And to protect the weapons goes into our third pick at number 75. Kareem
Amagaji. Karan Amagaji is my understanding.
I love those awesome names. Dude. Like Israel Adonijah and Agoulier. And my wife's a big connoisseur of the awesome last names too.
That's a big name for a big dude.
He's huge, dude. He's huge. He's
6'5",
6'5", 350 pounds, dude.
I think they said the second longest arms in the draft.
Yeah, dude, he's insane, man. 6 foot, 326 pound monster, man. Definitely going to be contesting Braxton Jones for that left tackle start, man. I mean,
I don't know right away, but I think that's definitely their idea here going forward. He might be kind of more of a swing guy just to start because he's so young. Let's plug him and play him and see where he looks best at. But I think going forward, they definitely. They didn't waste a third-round pick to have this guy just be a backup. And yeah, absolutely. If he comes in and just impresses the fuck out of you, fine with me if he's the starting left tackle.
I mean, he only played 4 games last year with a quad injury. Nothing too
That's
serious.
Nothing to worry about. I just saw 2 players in the Cubs going out with quad injury. So, that's nothing to really worry about. If this was the Bears 6 years ago, this guy had degenerate back failure and had no neck. And we would have drafted him in the second round. It's a quad injury. It's fine. It's nothing to worry about. The guy's a monster. It's well worth the risk they take. That's an injury these guys can get over easily.
We talk about it all the time, Maxwell. There's no such thing as too many offensive linemen.
No, there's not.
More.
Keep throwing as many as you can until you've got the most 5 just studliest monstrous motherfuckers on the planet.
Yeah, dude, for sure. With our 4th pick, I think everyone's natural first reaction was kind of like, did we just fucking draft a kicker, a punter?
Is this GM so arrogant now he's high on his own supply?
Is the blow up there kicking in right now and he's just fucking picking names?
He's just drinking old fashions in a pool and just picked a name out of a wheel.
But I didn't judge right away. I'm like, okay, before I start going crazy on this, I did look at the kid's stats and holy fuck, dude. Yeah. This kid averages 48.5 yards a punt. I was offense sucked last year. Dude, yeah,
that's an understatement.
He was the best kicker in the draft, man. So I mean, with our current offense, dude, and then the strength of our defense, man. I mean, punting the ball an average of 50 yards a punt, dude. I mean, holy shit, dude, you're giving your defense a lot of time to be able to pull something off, and then also giving your offense a good rest off the field, dude. I mean, I love it, dude. I thought it was a good move.
I smiled as wide as I could smile when I heard the pick because I just thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
That he's like, well, we got all our other holes filled, so we'll just draft a punter. But yeah, no, I saw what you saw and that he's set all kinds of records because he was punting every 5 minutes in Iowa. But on the flip side of that, they got all kinds of tape on him because he was punting so much. If his leg didn't fall off after that, this dude's indestructible. He's Australian, which I love.
Yeah, dude, I was about to say Foster's.
And I love that Pace and Pulls and Caleb Williams both said to him, "You're not going to be used a whole lot."
Yeah, dude, exactly. It's that confidence, man. I love it, dude. Yeah. I love it, man. But yeah, dude, I was super happy about that. Again, just another arsenal. Trenton Gill's definitely gone.
If this was last year or the year before, I'd be furious if they drafted a punter here. But I mean, fuck it, who cares? You already knocked out hopefully 3 home runs ahead of him, so fine with me. Fine. Trenton Gill wasn't good last year, so this is fine.
And then our last pick. Now, dude, before we would announce our last pick, I remember doing this show last year after the draft. I'm like, holy fuck, I got to figure out 13 people to talk about. Like, there are so many drafts.
That's a lot. Picks, and 3 of them are
nice just to have 5 this year.
Nice and concise.
Nice and concise. Let's get straight to the point. Let's not mess around here. So with our number 5 pick, we traded back with Buffalo. So we traded for the kid at center, Ryan
Bates.
Yeah. So we traded back, but we traded for Ryan Bates, man, and got what's looking to be one of the sneakiest picks of the entire draft, my friend.
He was graded a 3rd rounder in a lot of them. I saw as high as like the 74th best pick in the draft. We get him all the way to 5. That's definitely why they traded back in. Super young. It sounds like super strong, super aggressive. Going to be a project because he's so young, but a nice rotational guy that can, I think, play the 1 and possibly the other side from Bobcat Sweat. I don't know if they said that for sure, but
yeah, not for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure training camp's going to be the deciding factor.
Oh yeah,
so it's going to be a tough Bears training camp this year. I have a feeling, my friend.
That's what Ryan Cole said that it's going to be really hard to make this team. So
Yeah.
all the competition you can have, all the better.
But dude, last year the kid had 8 sacks, 12 tackles for a loss, and 2 forced fumbles, and he wasn't a starter.
Yeah.
And he is 21 years old.
So a project for sure.
20,
but that's fine.
Sure.
These are the kind of guys you get in the 5th round. This is what you want in the 5th round. Guys that have got a lot of talent that maybe fall for some reason that other than just this was such an offensive ridiculous, like the first 17 picks were offense in this draft or whatever it was. So you fell for no apparent reason.
You get that late pick, like how we had Javon Dexter last year, man. And look at he's going to be a position player this year.
If he's a guy that's just a rotational guy that helps you and gets some pressures and some hits, that's great. That's a win.
Yeah, dude. I'm over ecstatic about our draft.
The whole draft. I was out Sunday with a lot of guys, and I didn't hear one person have a bad thing to say about it. Like it was really weird. Like no one had anything bad to say about the Bears, and I was getting kind of confused and trying to find something negative. But the whole draft was fantastic.
Could you have said we should have got a defensive end in the 4th round instead of that punter?
You could definitely go that way.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, obviously, I think the Bears had an idea of what they wanted to do, and they had an eye on someone. They said they were watching that kid since the Senior Bowl. He had a really good Senior Bowl, and he said that's where they caught his eye. So, I mean,
he says the best punter he's ever seen.
Yeah.
That's what Cole said. So. Yeah, sure. Could that blow up? Fine, but it's a punter. It's a 4th round pick. It's not a big deal. I do want to go back to the 3rd round pick, though. One quick thing. I did read something about him on The Athletic yesterday or today that he thought, Dane Brugler said he thought that is the most interesting pick in the entire draft.
Really?
The most interesting prospect in the entire draft. He had a lot of reasons. He said if it wasn't for the injury, it probably would have been a low 1st round pick.
Wow, that's crazy.
So super interesting, and they got a lot of value for only getting, let's just cross the punter off. For the 4 non-punter picks, a lot of value in all those picks. And again, quality over quantity. Sometimes you just need the quality guys.
Dude, if he turns out to be a darn all right, dude, I mean, that would just be phenomenal.
Forget about it. That dude's a mauler. So
yeah, dude, exactly. So that leads us into pretty much what our offensive breakdown is as of today. And our preliminary depth chart, as it is called. We have Caleb Williams and everyone's fan favorite Baggett as our backup quarterback. Caleb Williams throws 3 interceptions. Fans are going to be calling for Baggett.
Not unless you're stupid, but
perhaps.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of meatballs out there, but no, let's not. Let's just hope we don't have to worry about him. He's a nice story, and it's nice that he made the NFL, and we'll just leave it at that.
Running back, we have Swift. Herbert probably come in RB2, Roshan Johnson at 3, and Homer at 4, dude. I mean, there's an arsenal of running backs.
Deep, and you need them. As we've seen every year, you need it. You go sometimes 5-6 deep at running back. So
look at all the injuries we had last year.
Absolutely. We were bringing up guys I've never even heard of. So, yeah, absolutely. The more you can have, the better. How many offenses now rotate guys in and out on certain plays. So you got Herbert, explosive, Swift, punishing. I mean, that's great. That's what you need.
Yep. Then the best receiving core, dude.
The best top 3.
Minus one person who was at the end of this. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Adunze, Tyler Scott, Pettis, and Velus Jones Jr., baby. He's hanging around there, man.
Guy is hanging on. He's endless.
Will Velus Jones Jr. make it through training camp this year?
I'd like to say no. They finally just get rid of him. I mean, you could find that guy. Somebody's going to cut that. Somebody like him off the squad, or as a number 6 receiver. No, I don't know. Poles likes him, so the thing is now, hopefully, we don't even have to hear about him really, other than maybe as a punt returner. We don't need to hear about him at all. We're so top, at least very top heavy on the wide receiver core. Hopefully Tyler Scott steps up though.
Yes,
the speed is there, no doubt about it.
The hands need to be there.
No rocks for hands this year. Hopefully,
dude, we have probably the most dual best tight ends in the entire league, dude. Between now Cole Kmet and Everett, dude. I mean, the run blocking alone from those 2 guys in a dual tight end stance, dude. The hands, the athleticism, the speed, dude. I mean, God. To be able to dump it off and have Everett or Kmet or Swift as your dump off guy is Caleb Williams, dude. They're really putting this kid in like a very fail safe situation.
Absolutely. Cole Kmet had a career year last year. He showed his extension, wound up being cheap. Everett sounds like an across the middle kind of guy, tough dude. Tight end's another one where all the depth you can get, all the better. You can't ever have enough of those either.
The offensive line, man. I mean, again, the most important position in all of football, dude. And if the Bears are not productive like we all think they're going to be this year on offense, in my opinion, it's going to be because of this offensive line, dude.
Mhm.
Because there's no excuse anywhere else as far as the arsenal of weapons go as receivers and tight ends and running backs. So Braxton Jones at left tackle, who might be played out during training camp from our rookie camp.
Doubt that early, just because of how young that kid is. I would doubt that, but I could see him getting a lot of playing time. And if it goes away, Braxton Jones is just. I wish they had signed a tackle on free agency. He's a good player. He's a nice player, but I don't know. Like, you just drafted a Ferrari at quarterback, and you've got a nice solid Honda blocking for him. I mean, nothing wrong with him.
Sure.
He plays every down. He doesn't get hurt. That's great. I know some people are high on him, but I don't know. I always thought that was somewhere you could upgrade center to, but still, he's reliable. He's reliable.
You know how training camp goes, man. There's always those big names.
Oh, sure.
Get dropped at training camp.
Sure.
Polls, the organization, they have a ton of money still left.
There's still going to be guys cut that we're going to pick up, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
So, and I think they're definitely eyeing these positions as those potential future looks. So,
sure.
Jenkins, a left guard. Gates coming in for center as long as he's healthy.
Yep.
Davis at right guard, right tackle, and then we have 5 other offensive linemen currently on our roster to fuck around with and play with and earn your spot, my friend.
Absolutely. You're going to probably take the
best.
Cannot
have enough offensive line.
No, you're going to probably take the best 9, try to stash 1 or 2 in the practice squad. Absolutely. Let these other kids battle it out. And if one of them isn't showing it, Bates doesn't look good or Braxton Jones is struggling, absolutely. Cycle somebody else there. You're fine on the right side, I think. Yeah. A full season of Nate Davis with, I know he had a lot of family problems last year, so. And then Darnell Wright on the right. I think you're good on the right side. I think you're really good on the right side. Yeah. Obviously, if Jenkins stays healthy, he's a mauler too at left guard.
If he stays
healthy, that's a big question. Always going to be a big question with him. But yeah, center is a big question mark. I still think because I don't think Bates has played enough to where you can feel totally comfortable. I know they signed somebody else too, but a good offensive line. I would have liked to see one more upgrade there. But for now, a good offensive line, not shamble offensive line.
And polls we trust, my friend.
For now,
we trust. Going into that defensive line, man, that awesome run-stopping defensive line. Montez Sweat, defensive end 1. Would have liked to, like you said, pick up that other defensive end somewhere before the season started or in the draft.
Yeah.
But again,
those ones are a little more like last year we picked up Yannick Ngakoue, like late. Those guys, you can find a veteran there when we get close to training camp on a 1-year deal. Sure. On the other side, you can sometimes where you're not going to find probably
Ngakoue $1.5 million for 3 sacks.
Yeah, it was a bust, but it happens.
Then we got Billings, Dexter, who I think is going to be a big standout this year, man. I think he's going to be a stud this year.
These 2 is your 3 technique. So.
Yeah, came through really big at the end of last year, man. So I got a lot going on him this year. And then Walker right now is our other defensive end. So solid up front, man. We still could use some improvement there, but overall, not bad, and they were the number 1 run stopping.
And let's be honest, we're going to have a full season now. Montez Sweat.
Yeah.
Of course, he's going to be game planned for, but a full season to him. We saw how much he wrecked games last year and improved his defense immediately.
Yeah, dude. He was a 180 on the entire defense.
A full season of that, a healthy season, full season of that, and that's going to be a hell of a front just because of him. As long as Dexter and Zach Pickens and some of these other guys keep improving, it could be a real strength in the team.
Yeah, I mean, we got our linebacking core too and our cornerbacks. Biggest difference, Eddie Jackson's obviously gone this year.
That's fine.
Picked up Kevin Beard to replace him. Brisker, deep safety. Johnson, Stevenson, Gordon, man, phenomenal.
Yep.
Sanborn, Edmonds, and Edwards, dude, our middle linebacking core.
Solid.
Dude. I don't want to change anything. I'm completely happy with that complete lineup right there. So
yeah, I think everything back. I mean, a nitpick or two, but there's a lot of real good there. I mean, their defense should be this. I mean, it should be okay. Fine, the offense now should be the strength of the team, but the defense should be a top 10 defense.
And an offense who takes up time off the clock so that
you
the
guys
defense is not on the field the entire game.
Absolutely. So. I mean, on paper, it all looks great. Of course, we know we don't play on paper, but here or there, 1 or 2 things. Other than that, you're not going to solve it all in every offseason. Yeah. It all looks really solid to me.
Yeah, and of course, Santos and now Taylor, the 50-yard punter, man. I mean, overall, great squad, dude. I mean, overall, on paper, going into this season, I'd probably have to say on paper it's one of the best looking Bear squads that I can remember in quite some time.
Oh, I mean,
maybe ever, dude. Maybe ever.
I mean, the closest thing in my head I can come to is like when we still had, the Super Bowl defense with Cutler. Cutler's like second season. It's like that was probably the closest thing we had to when we got Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey. And but even this, I think, is even higher than that just because of the youth and the explosiveness of a lot of these guys. In my lifetime that I can remember. I mean, I can't pretend like I remember 1989, but this is as excited as I've been about a Bears team in my entire lifetime.
Exactly,
without a doubt.
Dude.
It's as hard as I've been about the Bears ever.
We've been building up to it, my friend. It seems like we might finally be a competitive team this year.
What's crazy about it is you think where Poles was 2 years ago. This team was way over the cap, old, bad, no draft capital.
Yep.
He changed that all in 2 years.
Dude, I know.
And really has not made a ton of stutter steps.
No.
A few, no doubt. But
sure, we talk about it all the time. Jones Jr. and Claypool was his only 2 stutter steps.
That's it.
Everything else, I'll put him in the ice cold Poles situation, dude. He's been spot on. And now even with these picks, man, these picks pan out, dude. If you say you don't trust Ryan Poles going forward after this year, and everything pans out, man, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't even look at the draft and say he made a wrong move. Even if one of them doesn't pan out, he made the right moves.
He could have, again, just potentially thinking, he could have made the biggest wrong move he's ever going to make in his career right now. And Williams bust, and they got rid of Fields.
I think Williams is bust proof.
It's a career move.
I'm not saying he's going to be.
His career on the line.
I'm not saying he's going to be Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, but I don't see him being a complete bust. Terrible.
Sure.
I see him being at the worst decent.
Yeah.
At the worst.
Not RG3, right?
No, I mean he only had one good year. No. I think there's enough talent there from Williams to where he's at least going to be a top half quarterback in the league at worst.
Yeah, no, I feel pretty confident too. The kid comes in, he's motivated, he's excited, he's ready to put in the work. Talks about how he wants to stay on the team for 20 years. He wants to chase number 12, Patrick Mahomes. So he has ambition, dude. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got the money already. Normally they come in for the money. Yeah. But now he's already got the money. Now he wants to play ball. He wants to win. He wants victories. So it's nice to know that's where his mentality is instead of trying to get a big payday because the kid's already a millionaire. Absolutely.
And Adunze too. Everything I heard about him, he wants to just come in, bust his ass, work hard. He said, I don't care where they play me the first year. They want me to do punt return. I'll do that too. Yeah. And I can't even believe you, of all people, didn't talk about the number 3 pick in the draft, Karan, that grew up a Bears fan from Hinsdale.
Oh, yeah.
Grew up you of all people.
I know.
You're Mr. fucking, this guy was a Bears fan all along. I roll my eyes every time. I'm the one who's going to bring it up. Big Bears fan. He had all kinds of Bears talk on his Twitter. It was cool as hell. So,
dude, I was partying all weekend.
I understand. I'm here for you.
I didn't get enough time.
I did the research this time. I'm good.
Partner, bro. But yeah, dude, just to sum it up, dude, the weight is all on Caleb Williams this year, whether we're successful or not. Yeah. He has the tools. He has the weapons. Right now, the only question whether or not the Bears are going to be a winning, potentially playoff squad is Caleb Williams, dude.
Sure. I think they go into the season with playoff expectations. I don't know how you couldn't.
Yeah.
I know that the odds are completely against it with a rookie quarterback. I think he can take on any kind of game plan they want to throw him. He doesn't strike me as a Trubisky type who doesn't know this from that. It seems like he's pretty ready. Dude, by all counts,
we're in a tough division, man.
100%.
Minus JJ McCarthy now on the Vikings.
I still think the Vikings are a good team minus that.
Yeah.
I know that could sink or swim you, but I mean, if he's
a quarterback, usually does sink or swim.
No doubt. And Sam Darnold sounds like he's going to be the starter, so that's pretty sinky right there. But they're not going to be a chump team. I don't think the Vikings. They don't strike me as a team that's going to go 3-14.
You just had 2 NFC North teams last year, the Lions and the Packers. Make it deep into the playoffs, man.
Absolutely.
So the championship game, man. I mean, and the Packers right before. So I mean. Dude, this is no joke in the division. Unfortunately, Jordan Love is the real deal, whether any of us Bears fans out there want to admit that or like that or not. But he is.
And the Lions
are the real deal, dude. Crazy Dan Campbell, man. He may have made a wrong move there at the end of the last year, dude. But, I mean, that dude plays with his balls out, dude, and his dick the entire game, and the squad believes in him. And
100%.
They go out and kill themselves every game, man.
It's going to be a tough division, but if you're on here talking about it's going to be hard to make your team, you got to be a tough out too. You got to be 7 to 10 is going to be unacceptable for this team.
Dude,
it just is. It just is. So unless something catastrophic happens. So this is a team that should be at the least looking at a wild card.
Yeah. I hope so, man. I hope so. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
I got
a lot of time ahead of us, man. We got training camp coming down the road. Not going to be consistent shows every week. We just wanted to do the post wrap up from the draft. We're not going to bore you with filler shit every week like we always talk about.
You don't want to talk about them going to dinner this week?
Going to Applebee's tomorrow. It's going to be lovely. So we're not going to fill your guys' feed with that bullshit. We're only going to talk about the meat, man. Leave out the potatoes and the bullshit. So I'll let you guys know. I'll post on the pages when we're getting back in a few weeks. One of the biggest changes that happened is we'll not be streaming exactly live anymore in Facebook groups where I primarily was streaming before. Facebook made some changes to the streaming platforms and podcast to where it now has to be on a page. So be sure to follow my Facebook page out there. The link is on my group homepage, along with my YouTube and my Twitter page. There you'll be able to see everything live, be able to comment, and be just like how you watched the show before. So as always, appreciate your guys' support. We'll see you guys soon. Enjoy the victory of what the draft was, because it was fucking awesome. And for always, 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 bear down, baby. Maxwell, you got anything to say?
Well, no.
Later, guys.
Thank you, and go Bears!